With the proliferation of the FIRE movement, retiring early has become a badge of honor, maybe even a sense of competition, and perhaps it's gotten to the point where it's no longer the healthy kind. I retired at 60. I retired at 55. Well, I retired right after high school. While early retirement is certainly a milestone that's worth celebrating, there are a few areas of concern that most people that dream about early retirement may be missing. In this video, I'll go over 5 of them. Number 1, have you actually taken the time to imagine what early retirement would look like for you? The issue is, this is when most of your peers, friends, and family members are still tied to their work schedule. Maybe that matters to you, maybe it doesn't. But many of my clients who have confirmation that they have more than enough, not just for them, but also their families, still choose to work because of the meaning and the enjoyment that they're able to extract from their work. Maybe you're fantasizing about early retirement simply because you're tired of the current version of your work. Tired of your boss, tired of your clients, tired of the HR drama, and the commute. If that's simply the case, finding a new job or a new career may be far easier, simpler, and cheaper when you compare it to all the sacrifice it would take to retire sooner. I use the word sacrifice intentionally because I want you to be aware of the opportunity costs of retiring sooner. You may have to say no to the things that matter to you simply for early retirement. Carl Jensen, known for being Mr. 1500 for his blog 1500 Days to Retirement, has recently reflected on what it took to retire at 43. He said it felt like a death march. I'm not saying you shouldn't retire early because it's hard. What I'm saying is that because it's going to be hard, the reward for you has to be worth it. It has to be worth it for you. Personally, I go through these exercises with my clients, and I do this with my wife too once in a while. And we are quite confident that we can retire long before 65, but I have no intention to. Neither does Mary. So for me and for my wife, reducing the number of holidays we take or getting a simpler house than what we want isn't worth the trade-off to retire a few years sooner. Many early retirees go back to work for no other reason than boredom alone. I would hate to give up so much in terms of experiences only to be bored as the reward. Hey, I'm Hervin Passam, a certified financial planner, and this channel is dedicated to helping you get the most out of your retirement. So if this helps you at all, please leave us a like, maybe even interact with us in the comments simply by letting us know where you're watching this from, and subscribe. It does help the algorithm. I appreciate you. Let's continue on to the video. The second challenge, or the second point you need to be aware of, is that extended retirement means more money to live the same lifestyle as you would if you worked until you're 65. First reason is simple. You need to fund at least 10 more years of retirement if you retired at 55. Without even adjusting for inflation, if your target spending is $6,000 a month, that's an extra $720,000 over a 10-year period. That's also 5 years before you can tap into the reduced CPP and 10 full years before you get the old age security or the OAS. Another point to consider is you will likely reduce your CPP significantly. Because to get the maximum amount of CPP, you need to have reached a maximum contributions for at least 39 years. Even if somehow you got a job where you're maximizing CPP as soon as you turn 18, you wouldn't be able to get all the 39 years you require. You'd fall short. And most traditional careers don't really start taking off in income until you're in your mid to late 30s. So that would leave you with about 20 years of maximum contribution. Now, this doesn't even take into account the reductions of taking the CPP sooner. The other reason why this is going to cost you more is you reduce your accumulation period. Tapping into your nest egg 10 years sooner has the potential to severely reduce the benefits of compounding. That's not insurmountable if you have a proper plan. However, this just leads you to needing more money at the start of your retirement. think of this as a bucket that starts leaking too soon. The third reason that you should really be mindful of retiring sooner is that you can lose your work benefits far sooner. Now, even if you have a healthy pension plan at work, some of these plans require you to meet certain age or employment period criteria before extended retirement benefits, such as travel insurance and private dental care, become available. Again, not insurmountable, but you need to be aware of it because people tend to forget this. Reason number 4 to really think hard before you retire early is our minds require work. It requires a certain level of activity and challenge that you may lose if you don't have anything to retire to. This doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't retire early. This just further supports why the first point is important. The other aspect of work that supports cognitive health is social interactions. That is part of our routine. This lack of mental stimulus and reduced social interaction when you retire early puts early retirees in a significantly higher risk of cognitive decline. That's compared to those who are working until 65. That's because their peers retire at the same time, and that carries their social circle with them. So if you do intend to retire early, make sure you have hobbies that challenge you both mentally and physically. Otherwise, it might be a shorter and a lower quality retirement than what you have long to enjoy. The last reason people tend to forget is that you may end up paying higher taxes if you retire early. Most tax credits and income splitting opportunities are more effective for individuals that are 65 and up. In fact, the pension income splitting rules have different criteria for eligible income based on those who are 65 and under and for those who are 65 and over. Even for business owners, the TOSI, or the tax on income splitting, is more relaxed for private corporations who pay dividends to individuals who are over 65. Now, this might sound counterintuitive, especially because I just recently published a video encouraging you to think about retiring early. But the truth is, just like most retirement advice, what's good for others may be terrible for you, or vice versa. For example, if you've worked yourself ragged and you've caused yourself significant damage to your health, retiring early will likely be beneficial for you if you can afford it. But don't get sick trying to retire sooner. There's a balance to be had. I want to also point out that retiring early does add complexity to retirement planning. If you are on the fence and you need a professional opinion, check the links in the comments below and apply for our first hour of consultation. You may get that for free. See you next week.